Welcome back, everybody, to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here really out on the streets, and it's been quite some time. But yes, we're out here to support a band that's making a name again for the Alamo City, and it brings me great pleasure to welcome a band that we've been following for a short while, but yes, we have deep passion for. I have with me Gerard, Chris, and Israel of the band Darkness Divided. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We're happy to be here, too.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's great to be here.
Welcome, guys. I think right now is a really exciting time for the band, and as I was sharing with you guys off camera, I mean, I'm a Cradle Darkness Divided fan. I'm new, but yet I've already felt the passion. I felt the message. I've felt the hardcore music that you guys are delivering. So tonight, there's going to be some people who, for the first time, are hearing about Darkness Divided. So let's start from the beginning, and I think I want to hear it too. Talk a little bit about the beginnings of this band.
Well, Darkness Divided is actually three brothers. We're all a year apart, and we've been playing music for forever, it feels like. And so we kind of started off, me, Joe, and Chris. We were playing for a lot of retreats, and we started off as a worship band. And then we made the crossover when we started listening to metal music and feeling more, called to do stuff, and that's the music we kind of listen to. And so, like As I Lay Dying, the Devil Wears Prada, August Burns Red, those were the bands we were really taking influence from. So we started writing some more heavier music, and then we played our first show at the White Rabbit in 2010 in April. And ever since then, man, it's just like all we wanted to do was play one show, and then kind of like you play a show and it's like, dude, oh no, we just want to play again, and we're really passionate about what we do. And for the last couple of years, we've been touring as much as possible, and we put out a CD in 2012 that was done at Lambisa Studios. So from As I Lay Dying, Daniel Castleman produced it, and we've been sitting on that for almost 2 years now, and we're now with our recent signing to Victory Records. We're gonna get in the studio in the next couple of months to record our first full length. So it's been fun, man. It's been a blessing. It's been great.
And I agree with you. I mean, really, for all that you guys have accomplished, I mean, the band formed in 2010, and we're barely starting 2014. I mean, would you have ever guessed that you would be so far along in the career of Darkness Divided in such a short time? Really, if you weren't blessed. A lot of prayers have been answered, I guess, huh?
Definitely. I mean, we honestly, that was my dream, was to play one show at an actual venue, and to be here on a label and representation and all that stuff, and to do some of the tours that we've been blessed to do. It's been great, man. It's been way more than expected.
I think one of the things that people who know about the band, your hardcore fans, many of them who are here tonight, know that you're a Christian band. And we cannot talk about Darkness Divided without talking about that, because as I told you, I've supported a lot of Christian bands, and to me the message is vital, but really at the heart of it all is just the band itself and the music. You guys have really been categorized as a metalcore band, but at the same time have kind of, I think, really found your own kind of niche within that genre, which to me, I mean, if people would say, Rob, what do you think metalcore is? It's really like a new age genre of metal. And as young guys, you guys fall right into that. So explain a little bit to the people out there the element of, your beliefs and your spirituality in your music, and really what kind of makes you a little different than all the other metalcore bands out there who really have not garnished the success that you guys have.
Well, thank you, but all our success is because of God, and we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be able to play music or to do anything without Him. And so this is something, like, growing up, we've come to know through our own personal struggles and whatnot, that in whatever way we ended up falling in love with God, and God always showing us love back. And so when we started the band, like I said, we were a worship band, and then we swapped over to metal music. With that transition, we felt a really big calling to go, hey, these guys, we like to play metal. These kids listen to metal, and they're not going to church, they're not getting the gospel, they're not hearing the good news and stuff. And if there's a way for us to be able to go to them and bring the word to them and to bring the ministry to them, how could we do that? And that's really what we've been blessed enough to do. God's put it on our hearts to go and play shows. And we don't play at churches and, very often or anything like that. We'd go to bars and, people will, get into the influence and stuff. And so it's cool. I mean, we love it. And I guess that's part of what sets us apart. And I guess with the metalcore genre, like we consider ourselves more of not like a traditional metal band, and like we keep that core with us, but we try to write riffs that we love to hear, that we would love to hear on an album, and drums and like different kind of vocal styles that we're into and that we like. And luckily, that makes what Darkness Divided is just God and the kind of stuff, the music that we like to listen to, we want to put it out too. So that's kind of how we get our sound.
I think that's great, because I think that takes a lot of courage and balls, especially in a genre like this, especially with the troubled youth in our young society these days. So musically, people tonight, we're going to get online and check out the band. So Chris, what would you say if someone said, describe to me, what is the band delivering musically?
Just like the most exciting, the parts that we can write. When I write a song with Israel, we take riffs and just throw them away so many times, and before one song is finished, it's always like there are 4 or 5 different versions of the song, so we really take a lot of pride in, and we put a lot of focus in just like making it like the coolest part, or the maybe not the catchiest breakdown or whatever, but what we feel like would be the most exciting, or the way we can put passion into music is what's most important to us. And so musically, I mean, we get compared a lot to As I Lay Dying or For Today. I mean, growing up, it was bands like Avenged Sevenfold or As I Lay Dying, or bands that play guitar solos and who keep it over here as opposed to down here. So if you're listening to us, hopefully you might want to learn one of our songs on guitar, or show your friends or something. That's what we always want to put into our songs.
Chris, I'm actually very excited about you, because I think you are an extraordinary guitar player as a very young man. So I mean, it can only get better. So I mean, that's what happens.
I hope it don't get worse.
No. So you guys do have a product out. I mean, even though right now it was released in 2012, the Chronicles EP. So how many songs does the EP have on it? And now looking back at it 2 years later, how do you feel about the Chronicles EP, Israel?
Well, I didn't even write the drums on that one. It's pretty cool. I like some of the songs on it. Personally, this is like the first time I'm writing with them, and we're kind of like trying to change our our style a little bit, from that EP.
So you definitely now, like, so when we see you tonight playing those songs, you've added your old flair to that.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, on some of the songs, I'll try to throw in a little different things here and there, but definitely like the new music we're writing, it's just a little more different, but we're really excited about it. I think they had a great success with Chronicles, and that's where we're taking off from. So. Yeah.
Well, obviously, I mean, it's been a great launching pad, and I think one of the things that maybe brought a little bit more attention to the EP was that you did it with Dan Castleman out at Lambesis Studios. You kind of mentioned a little earlier. I mean, of course, everyone knows about As I Lay Dying and Tim Lambesis about being a Christian band, and having kind of done your first recording at his studio, or someone who works at his studio kind of lends to all of that. So how did that happen? How did you manage to kind of get him involved or interested in Darkness Divided?
Yeah, actually, that was kind of interesting. At the time, Daniel Castleman and Lambesis Studios were actually managed by the Blackheart Group, and I emailed them and they were like, hey, cool, that's fine, what days you want, stuff like that, and put a deposit and stuff. But with that, Blackheart Group ended up going out of business, like completely, and bankrupting and stuff, and a lot of their bands did too. So kind of like a couple weeks before, Daniel Castleman gives me a call and he's all like, hey, yeah, like I'm still down and everything for the project and everything like that, but like I don't have that manager anymore and stuff like that. So we kind of got in on an interesting time for him and for the studio, but he was super cool. Very, very helpful with making sure that we're accommodated and we were ready to go and write the songs. And he wanted to hear the pre-pro and all that stuff, and he was excited. I mean, throughout the whole process was great. I mean, he would just like, we make jokes and stuff like that. And he's honest with you. So it's like I was doing vocals and he'd be like, wasn't very good, man. I think you can do better, and stuff like that. And like some of the even like takes on the guitar and stuff like that, he's like, that sucks. But he would do it in a joking manner, and I still talk to him every once in a while and stuff like that. He's a good dude, and working with him was just crazy. Just using the same mic that Tim Lambesis used and all that stuff was pretty surreal, man.
I mean, now, I mean, really what we've been kind of focusing on is kind of a historical of the band. Really now in 2013 and in the new year, you guys have done some exciting things. And I was really also kind of intrigued by the fact that you decided to release some singles and really not say like, hey, you know, we're going to give you guys some teasers out there, our fans, some teasers. So you released the Voyager single, Remnants, Redeemer, and you have videos for all those songs as well. I've seen the videos on YouTube. People out there, go check them out. Very cool videos. Well done. I mean, I think they capture the energy and the elements of the music very well. Talk a little bit about those tracks. I mean, do you feel that those tracks represent a new era for the band?
Yeah, definitely at the time. We actually were going through some drummers. The drummer that we wrote Chronicles with, his name is Isaiah. He had just left the band. And we wanted our fans to have new music to listen to and stuff like that, but we weren't exactly solid as a lineup. So Chris actually, I mean, he wrote those songs and he wrote the drums and stuff, and we had a fill-in drummer at the time actually sit and help us track and whatnot, and then he actually was in the music videos. And so it was a transition time, to say the least, just for music-wise and stuff like that. We love those songs. But definitely with Remnants, that's the first track that's going to be off our actual album. So that was like something that when we had Israel and we all got to write together, and we feel that is the most Darkness Divided we've ever been on a track, and that's kind of the music we're going to be writing for this full-length record.
So before we start talking about your upcoming full-length release this summer, we have to ask, I mean, I was astounded to find out that you guys had gotten a deal with Victory Records. Of course, Victory Records out of Chicago is a well-established indie label. They've been around for a long time. Great bands have come from that label and gone off to very successful musical careers. So how did the record deal come about?
We were approached by them. They had, you know, heard about us, and so, you know, we went through talking with them, and you know, they were interested and we were interested, and you know, it was pretty surreal email to wake up to one day, and so we went up there to Chicago, and you know, we played for them, and then we got everything settled a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, and yeah, I mean, we couldn't be happier. We were really, you know, blessed to be in the position we are, and we're excited for the future with them.
Yeah. So now you guys have started recording the new record that will be released this summer, or when will recording begin?
Recording will actually begin in April, the end of April through May, and then the record actually is set to be out in the fall, August sometime.
And the Redeemer will be part of the full length?
Remnants, actually.
Remnants, I'm sorry.
Redeemer. Oh man. Yeah, Remnants is going to be on the full length. We're going to re-record it and retrack it, kind of you know, but it'll be the same gist of a song, but that's kind of the stuff that we were really wanting to write.
So let's talk about the new record. What do you think you're delivering on this record that maybe you did not deliver with the singles and Confessions?
The singles were like, you know, we had just like a band writes songs, you know, in processes, like let's write a full length, let's write an EP. It was just like, hey, we have this new song, let's record it, let's make a music video, let's do that again. Right. For this, it's kind of like, okay, let's tell a story. Let's put everything all into a whole album rather than okay, how are we going to squeeze all the things that resemble Darkness Divided into one song, and that be in the video. That's the only thing you hear from us in 6 months. So this is different because there's a lot more things we want to try. Whether it be like clean vocals or different experimentation with guitars and stuff like that. We really, what we're going to deliver is just like everything that we haven't, and so we have a lot of really cool ideas, and I think it's going to be like the same, building off Remnants, like that style, but just better.
And who's gonna be producing? Do you know yet?
I'm not sure we're allowed to.
It's still up in the air right now. We should be confirming it soon. But yeah, we'll have to post about that later.
Will you go to Chicago to record the record?
No.
Here in San Antonio?
If it's the way we want it to go, we'll be here with one of the guy who did Remnants.
Okay.
We really love him. We love his work, and he's talented. And
who is that?
His name is Corey Bruneman at Alchemist Studios. That's the ideal situation, but we haven't confirmed it yet with Victory. It's still kind of in the works as of pricing and whatnot to kind of figure it all out. But
so now, once the record is released officially in nationally, worldwide through Victory in the summer, are you anxious to hit the road?
Definitely, yeah. Very excited. This is like the first time I do something like this. I was like a couple of bands before them, but definitely just seeing how this whole process has come together. It's overwhelming. It's what we've always wanted as a band, and even individually, I think as musicians, this is what every musician lives up to, you want to get signed, you just, want to get out there. So it's definitely exciting. We're really stoked about it.
And what do the touring plans entail? Because I know even you guys are going to do a tour even here pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, we're announcing a tour on Tuesday. To go to California with the band Silent Planet, unannounced, and we'll be back like a week before we go into the studio, and then we hope to hit the road as much as possible all summer long and all fall, especially to support the record when it comes out. So we'll see, man.
Wow, you guys are going to be out there, man, struggling and working it hard and earning your roots out in the scene. So that's exciting. I can imagine all the wondrous adventures you're going to have out there across the country as you make new fans. So for the people out there who want to learn more about the band online, where can they go?
Definitely our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We have an actual press page on the Victory Records website. If you just Google Victory Records, Darkness Divided, they have some stuff up there and whatnot. And Facebook.com/Darkness Divided, that's kind of our main site. As of right now, I don't think we're going to have a .com anytime soon, but Facebook's kind of our most active social media. So.
And as we end out, guys, I was remiss not to ask one question because I think the name of the band's very cool. Who came up with the band name?
My mom. Our mom, yeah. She always, so proud of that. But yeah.
All right, Mom. Killer band name. No, I mean I love it because when you think about, really, I mean seriously, when you think about all the people out there, the young people out there who struggle through all the trials and tribulations that this life, especially in the new millennium, has forsaken, them, and you feel like, there has to be some hope, and despite all the things that you may be born into, or run into in this life, failures and rebirths, but that's great, and I want to tell you guys that, I like to work with young bands like you because you guys have a positive message, and you guys not only talk about it, but really exemplify it, and I think all the blessings that God has bestowed upon you is just a really good example of that. So I wish you guys the best. Thanks, Israel. Thank you, Chris, for your time. Thanks, Gerard. Any last words you want to share with your fans out there?
Thank you for sticking around for us the last 3, almost 4 years now, and we can't wait to show you what we've been working on and to meet a lot of new faces. So thank you for sticking around, and we're stoked.
How about you, Israel?
Yeah, same here. Just a huge thank you to all our fans. We couldn't have done this without you, and we're really excited for the future of this band, and you know, we really hope to bring you guys the best music we can possibly can, and you know, just stay tuned for new things from us. Thank you so much.
Get stoked for the new record.
Remember, San Antonio, you saw the band Darkness Divided right here on the program. Keep your eyes and ears open for them. New CD dropping this summer on Victory Records. You'll definitely be hearing more about it from us. You saw the guys right here on Rob's MetalWorks.
What?